Okay, so there are several reasons why the legalization of prostitution under certain regulations, as suggested by the affirmative, has no true benefits, and why keeping the policy of it being an illegal act should be favored. First, the affirmative claims that the legalization results in a decrease of STDs and other health issues due to these checks and contraceptives being used. However, their evidence was not sufficient, and they failed to look at the loopholes that may arise, such as paying under the table and prostitution outside of the legal business to fulfill the needs of the customers. In fact, in 2009, the University of Queensland found that an estimated 90% of commercial sex industry existed outside of the legal sex industry, as illegal forms of prostitution cater for a demand that is not met by the legal industry. Therefore, the affirmatives claim that the job being at risk doesn't really apply because they're going to sell themselves for sex either way, whether it be legal or illegal, just to meet the needs of the customer and obtain more money. Second, the affirmatives claim that the legalization of prostitution does not decrease harm to women, as claimed by the affirmatives. Second, the affirmative, or our claim that the legalization of prostitution does not, the affirmatives claim that the legalization of prostitution does not decrease harm to women is actually not true, because because women, regardless, there's no one standing in the room with them, as I had stated previously. There's no one in there to prevent them from causing harm, and that's the same circumstance that applies legal or illegal. No matter what, the prostitute is in a room with a man, or a man prostitute is in a room with a woman, and they can be harmed just because no one's in there to prevent it from happening. Third, the economic advantage that the affirmative claims to result from legalizing prostitution does not exist, because the actual amount of money made in the industry cannot be determined. Not only that, but Christian and I have proved with our evidence that illegal industries and criminal activity still exist outside of the legal industry, and that the number that was provided by the affirmative for the economic benefit is based on no illegal prostitution existing, and therefore is not valid, because they're considering the fact that there isn't any illegal prostitution, which there will be no matter what. Finally, prostitution is immoral, as stated by Melissa Farley. Women who prostitute described it as paid rape and voluntary slavery. Prostitution is sexual harassment, sexual exploitation, and often worse. His payment does not erase what we know about sexual violence, domestic violence, and rape. Do we really want to be known as a country that legalized prostitution and the immoralities that come with it? And do we want our children to grow up thinking that it's okay to sell your body and that it's okay to have sex outside of marriage? Because if we do that, then obviously moral conflicts and conflicts with churches and other religions will arise, and more problems will result from that. For this reason, the policy staying as it is the most beneficial option.